Hello everyone, this is your science teacher here and I am going to start the very first chapter of grade 7 science NCERT textbook, that is nutrition in plants. Students, in this chapter you will learn about the different component of food, about their importance in our diet, about nutrition and its types. Now let's begin. Students, as you already learned in your grade 6, that food is one of the basic component for any organism survival on earth. There are five essential components of food that make a food a complete food, or you can say a balanced diet, that are carbohydrate, fats, vitamins, proteins and minerals. All living organisms require food for their survival on earth. Plants can make their own food, whereas animals and we, the human beings, can't able to make our own food. In fact, animals and we, the human being, have to depend on plants directly or indirectly for their food. Here, the word directly or indirectly means we are dependent on plants directly और indirectly. For example, suppose कोई lion है तो lion is basically a carnivore. तो वो अपने फूड के लिए डिपेंड करता है हर्बीवोर के लिए, लेकिन जो हर्बीवोर है वो प्लांट्स खाते हैं, तो हर्बीवोर इस तरीके से प्लांट्स पे डायरेक्टली डिपेंडेंट करते हैं। लेकिन जो आपका लायन है वो हर्बीवोर पे डिपेंड करता है और हर्बीवोर प्लांट पे डिपेंड करते हैं। तो जब हर्बीवोर होंगे तभी आपके क्या होंगे, कार्निवोर होंगे। अगर हर्बीवोर नहीं है तो फिर आपके क्या नहीं होंगे, कार्निवोर भी अर्थ में सर्वाइव नहीं कर पाएंगे। तो इस तरीके से जो एनिमल हैं वो डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली कहीं ना कहीं प्लांट पे क्या करते हैं, डिपेंडेंट करते हैं। नाउ मूविंग ऑन टूवर्ड्स द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक of your chapter number 1, that is mode of nutrition in plant. Students, as you learn that plants are the only living organism on earth that make their own food, but now the question is, what are the raw materials that a plant need to make its foods? So here I am highlighting the very important points which you must consider and kept in your mind. Water, carbon dioxide and mineral, these are the basic raw material that a plant need to make its food, and all these material available in its surrounding. As I said that nutrients are necessary for our body, but the question is, why are they essential for our body? They are essential for our body because nutrient enables us or any other living organism to build their bodies and to grow, to repair damaged part of their bodies and to provide the energy to carry out the different life processes. Suppose imagine, students, that you ever have noticed whenever you get a cut on your skin, it quickly heals within a couple of days. Do you know why this happened? This happened because the food that you eat contain these nutrients which help in healing your wound. Now the next and the most important topic of your chapter number 1 is nutrition. Nutrition is the way by which an organism take in their food and utilize it. Living organism on earth take in food in different way, and on that basis organisms are basically categorized into two categories, that are autotrophs and heterotrophs. Now we will discuss both terms one by one. Number 1, autotrophs. The word autotrophs basically made up of from two words, that is auto and tropos, where the word auto means self and tropos means nourishment. Thus, the word autotroph means organism who make their own food and they don't rely on other for their food, and this type of nutrition is called autotrophic nutrition. For example, plants. Plants make their own food. They don't rely on other for their food. So, they are called autotrophs. Next term, heterotrophs. The word heterotrophs made up from two different words, heteros and tropos, where heteros means other and tropos means nourishment. Thus the word heterotrophs means organisms who don't make their own food. In fact, they rely on other for their food, and this type of nutrition is called heterotrophic nutrition. And the example, as you know, animals and we, the human being. Now moving on towards the very important topic, that is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, food making process in plants. As the heading suggests, photosynthesis is a food making process in plant, and this is a very important process, and this one is your basic of biology. So understand it very carefully. Photosynthesis is the process in which plants make their own food by the help of carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight, and gives out carbohydrates and oxygen. And repeating it again, listen here carefully. Photosynthesis is the process in which plants make their own food by the help of carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight, and gives out carbohydrate and oxygen. Now, the question is where the process of photosynthesis take place in a plant. In a plant, generally leaves make food. That's why leaves are called the factories of plant or kitchen of the plant. But it doesn't mean that the other parts of the plant doesn't involve in this process. Now we will discuss how this process carrying out in plant. Student, in a plant, root absorb nutrient and water from the soil and transported them to the leaves. In leaves, there are many minute pores called stomata. Stomata are very minute pores, and we can't see them with our naked eye. We can see them only under microscopes, are present here in leaves. Through these minute pores, leaves take in carbon dioxide. So, as soon as the necessary raw materials that our leaves need to make its food available to plant, the process of photosynthesis is started. Students, have you ever noticed why the leaves are in green color? Because of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a green color pigment which is present in leaves. It helps leaves to capture the energy of the sunlight, and this solar energy is very essential to synthesize food from carbon dioxide and water. Now, here is the overall reaction of photosynthesis, that is carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of sunlight gives out carbohydrate plus oxygen. Now you can see here section of a leaf. This is a cross section view of a leaf which you can see under only microscope. Here the dotted like structure you see is chlorophyll, and this one is the stomata with guard cell. Guard cells opening and control the opening and closing of stomata. Now here is an activity 1.1. Students, I am not going to discuss this activity here because this is a live demonstration activity which we will discuss in your science lab whenever your school will reopen. Now moving on towards the next topic, that is synthesis of plant food other than carbohydrate. Student, in this topic you will learn how the other component of food like protein and fats are formed. Carbohydrate basically made of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. These three elements are also used to synthesize protein and fat. But there is one more element that is used with these three elements to form proteins, that is nitrogen. Now the question is where the nitrogen comes from. Students, as you all know that the nitrogen is present in abundance in gaseous form in the air, and approximately about 78%. This atmospheric nitrogen is very essential for plant growth, but plants cannot absorb this nitrogen in this gaseous form. So there are certain kind of bacteria that are present in the soil These bacteria convert this atmospheric nitrogen into usable form and release it into the soil. In this way, plants fulfill their requirement of nitrogen. Now, moving on towards the next topic, that is other mode of nutrition in plant. Students, in this topic, you will learn about the different mode of nutrition in plant other than autotrophic mode of nutrition. So the first mode of nutrition is parasitic mode of nutrition. Students, before understand the topic parasitic mode of nutrition, it is necessary for all of you to understand that what are parasites, because through this you will understand this mode of nutrition more clearly. Parasites are those organisms who live in or on other organism and get nourishment from it, whereas the organism or plant from where a parasite get nourishment is known as host. पैरासाइट बेसिकली वो ऑर्गेनिज्म होते हैं जो दूसरे ऑर्गेनिज्म की बॉडी में इंटरनली और एक्सटर्नली पाए जाते हैं और उनकी बॉडी से नरिशमेंट लेते हैं, और जिस ऑर्गेनिज्म की बॉडी से वो नरिशमेंट लेते हैं उनको होस्ट कहा जाता है. As you can see in this figure, this yellowish thread-like structure is cuscuta, and it rolled down itself all over the branches and the stem of the trees to get nourishment from it. Here cuscuta is a parasite because it depends on tree for its nourishment, and the tree that provide nourishment to the cuscuta is a host. Another familiar example to understand this topic is lice. Lice on our head. Lice get nutrition for our body by sucking blood. So lice is a parasite, whereas our body is a host for it. The next kind of plants are insectivorous plants. As the name suggests, plants that eat insect are called insectivorous plant. Now the question is, why these plants do so? Students, these type of plants are basically found in that kind of soil where there is a deficiency of nitrogen in soil. So in order to cater its need of nitrogen, they eat insects. For example, pitcher plant. As you can see in this figure, the leaf basically modified itself into a pitcher-like structure. Pitcher means pot or matka. Here the top of the leaf forms a lid which can open and close the mouth of the pitcher. Inside the pitcher there are numerous minute hair-like structures that are directed towards downward. When an insect lands in the pitcher, the lid closes and the trapped insect get entangled into the hair, and that's how this plant cater its needs of nitrogen from it. The next type of nutrition is saprophytic mode of nutrition or saprotrophs. What are saprotrophs? Saprotrophs are those organisms which take their nutrition from the dead and decaying organic matter in solution form. As you can see in case of our bread that you can see here in this figure, these greenish patches like structure which you see over here in this slice of bread are fungi. Fungi is an saprotrophs and it get nourishment from the dead and decaying organic matter, or you can say this piece of slice. Students, there is an important term over here, that is symbiotic relationship. Symbiotic relationship is a type of relationship in which two organisms live together in close association in order to cater the needs of each other. For example, lichen. Lichen is a combination of alga and fungi, where fungi provide shelter, water and minerals to the alga, and in favor of it, alga provides food which it prepares by photosynthesis. Now moving on towards the last topic of your chapter number 1, that is how nutrients are replenished in the soil. As you know, plants absorb mineral nutrients from the soil. So the amount of nutrients in the soil keeps on declining. Thus, in order to replenish the soil, farmer adding manures and fertilizer time to time to fulfill the nutrient requirement of plant. As I said earlier also, that crops require a lot of nitrogen to make proteins. After the harvesting of crops, soil becomes deficient in nitrogen. As you also know that there are about 78% of nitrogen in our atmosphere in gaseous form, but plants can't use this gaseous nitrogen in this form. So, in the soil, there are certain kind of bacteria like rhizobium are present. These bacteria convert this atmospheric nitrogen in usable form for plants. But rhizobium cannot make its own food. So it lives in the roots of grams, peas, moong, beans and other legumes and provide them with nitrogen. And this is how both the bacteria and the plants provide each other food, shelter and shows a close association of symbiotic relationship. Students, in this chapter you learned that plants are autotrophs. Only a few plants adopt their mode of nutrition like parasitic and saprophytic. They derive nutrition from other organisms. This is all your chapter is about.